Hey, what's going on guys, Migzuba here, and in today's video we're going to be taking a look at a 4-color Doom FORETOLD deck for standard best of 1. So this is very reminiscent of the classic Esper Doom lists that we were seeing a lot last standard, but it splashes green and it has pretty much no trouble doing so thanks to the flexible mana base that we have in standard now. For Binding of the Old Gods, this card is absolutely crazy in any sort of deck that wants to go for a mid to long game. It takes out anything and ramps you, and the last chapter isn't super relevant to mid-range or control decks, which is why we can take advantage of it being a permanent sitting on the board to sacrifice it to the Doom FORETOLD, or if not, just blink it with our multiple Yorians for extra value. Other new Kaldheim cards we have are 2 Doomscar. I'm trying a split between Extinction Event and Doomscar because a part of me does believe that in black Extinction Event still just might be better, but I guess we won't know until we try, so I'm trying a 2-2 split. The issue I see happening with this Doomscar is that we have so much we want to do on 2 that wrathing the board on 3 might get a little clunky. But it might fill into our curves. We're gonna see, so we're gonna try it out this video. Last new Kaldheim card is Cosima, God of the Voyage. We don't run many creatures at all in this deck. We have Skyclave Apparition and Yorion, and well, I mean, technically the 1/1s that the Omen of the Sun creates. So I'm not too excited about playing the Omen Keel. I'm really in it just for the Cosima part. And you guys probably have seen this already. It's a 3 mana 2/4, which reads, at the beginning of your upkeep, you may exile Cosima. If you do, it gains whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control. If Cosima is exiled, you may put a voyage counter on it. And if you don't, return it to the battlefield with X +1/+1 counters on it and draw X cards, where X is the amount of voyage counters on it. So despite being in Esper and already having plenty of ways to go over the top, Cosima is a way to get pretty consistent and steady card advantage. So we're going to be testing it out. You can try more if you want. I'm just not super sold this is the right shelf for it. But yeah, that's it for the new cards. You can honestly run whatever new saga you want. The Orzhov one that makes a lot of 4/4 angels is pretty tempting, but I don't think that's exactly where we want to be in a 4-color Doom deck. You can also run the King Narfi's Betrayal, but I am just sticking to Treacherous Blessing because, we don't have many creatures or planeswalkers in our deck to exile. So that's why we're not running all of those sagas. We can get into the list a little bit more. 2 Glass Caskets because we are still a Yorion deck, and we can do the combo where we blink a Apparition and a Casket to exile the spirit it created. Also, having permanence for Doom is important. Omen, draw some cards, permanent for Doom. Just basic black removal to stay alive. Make sure we can hit mono white creatures with counters on them, as well as Crawling Barrens should it come up. Maze Mind Tome. This is something I always play instead of Golden Egg. I think a 2-mana cantrip is just painfully weak for standard. And Maze Mind Tome can still end up in the yard if you sacrifice it to a Doom FORETOLD. It's a bit more mana intensive, but it can scry and gain some life if it comes to that. And basically, it has a little bit of a nombo with the Dance of the Mans, where if you get every single counter on it, then it will get exiled. But we typically need a permanent to sack to the Doom, and after getting a couple cards off it and sacrificing it to the Doom, we definitely got our money's worth. Moving on to the 3 drops, we have Omen of the Sun, create some blockers, gain some life. Fodder for Doom, this is all not really new stuff, you guys have seen all this before. Skyclave Apparition, take out a permanent. Elspeth's Nightmare, if you need to take out the yard, do it. If not, just have Doom FORETOLD eat it. Kill a creature, hit the hand. Blessing, draw some cards. Sack it to Doom, blink it with Yorion for even more cards. Extinction Event, sweep the board, obviously Doom. ECD kind of fills the same role as Binding, so we can go down on this, but we're trying out the 7, just pick off one thing, which might be a bit slow in best of 1, but hey, you never know. Yorion, just for more main deck blinks, we have plenty of blink fodder. 2 Dance to absolutely take over and crush the game. And 4 Emeria's Call as part of the mana base, just because we have so many different applicabilities to our lands that we want the 4/4 angel finisher, and if not, it is just a bolted in white source. So our mana base is very important. It makes this entire deck possible. We'll start off with the triomes. This can basically be seen as Orzhov Tapland, and this can basically be seen as Dimir Tapland with a green splash for the binding. They're also really important because binding says search your library for a forest card, and these are both forests. So we're always searching for these off our bindings and blinking them. I mean, we have 8 targets, so we should be good. Aside from that, just all of the pathways in our color combination. This can pretty much be a blue land 80% of the time. This is going to be a black land 80% of the time. These are, just standard Esper lands. But yeah, these are really the lands that help us splash green. And then basics, we always want to have a couple in case we run into like Field of Ruin and stuff like that. And one Locthwain because these are technically swamps, so we have a couple ways to make this enter untapped. All in all, mana base is really full. I don't think we have room for very much. As you can see, no Fabled Passage. And if you want, you could trim down on a couple pathways, maybe get a bit more basics in here in Fabled Passage, but I don't think that's really necessary. So that's it for the list, guys. If you guys like the deck, be sure to drop a like on the video. I'd really appreciate it. And consider subscribing. It motivates me to make more content. So that's going to be it for me, guys. Let's get into some games. Okay, mana seems pretty good. We have Omen to help us out against Yorion. What do we want first? I mean, probably blue or white. Let's get blue. We're more likely to need Omen on 2 than Apparition on 3 because Omen on 2 can help us find more white sources. Okay, against Goose, fair. Nice. Alright, we're gonna put this on... Geez, okay, the mana decisions are tough, guys. Lots of stuff to think about. Probably just put this on blue for now. Not foretell Doomscar. I think we're just good to Omen of the Sea first. We're looking like Sultai. Against what I'm assuming is Abzan. I don't think another Sultai build would be running Goose. Okay, and they go for a Visionary. So maybe it is going to be important to Doomscar them. We will Omen and dig for white sources. Well, that's a white source, but it is tapped. Can we afford it? So our turn would kind of look like Tapland, Foretell, Doomscar. Then, I mean... that's pretty slow. We can play Omen or Treacherous Blessing. I don't think we can turn down the white source, though. Alright. All our Triomes are showing up. So we play the white source and foretell the Doomscar. Ideally, we open on 1 or 2 Triomes, and then we just search for the rest of them with the binding. But, mana's gonna mana. We only do have 8 tap lands in the deck out of a 36 land mana base. So, a little awkward. Opponent on 4 mana, they can play Doom Foretold if that's their plan. They can blow up my Omen with a binding if they care enough. So the double white pips are already proving to be awkward, but if I had played the other Triome turn 1, then we wouldn't be having this problem. But hey, I couldn't have known that we were going to draw the untapped blue. And there's Doom. Okay. So opponent wants me to be sacrificing my stuff. I mean, I'm a Doom Foretold deck. I'm literally built for this. So I can... Do I Treacherous Blessing? Because then... Okay, so... if that player can't, they discard a card. I'm pretty sure they can just decline and sack their own Doom Foretold. If I play the Blessing, which doesn't sound ideal to me. They're probably just going to end up sacking their Goose. So I think we just hold up. We play Tapland and play the Omen. Make them start sacking their board. I'm pretty sure Goose is more valuable than an Omen of the Sun. Especially if I... especially if I have... Oh, Jesus, guys. I don't know why my mind is just on absolute empty. But yeah, especially if I have Dance of the Manse in my deck. So opponent's going to attack. If they attack the Visionary, we double block with the 1/1s. Perfect. If they want to use like spot removal, we're pretty happy as well. Alright, and they go for a Wicked Wolf. I mean, that's fine. Resolves A-okay. I can Apparition that, and then play out a Maze Mind Tome. Wait, what? I don't have... Oh, that's right. We still don't have double white. Oh, guys. What a awkward day. Alright, we're gonna start with the Blessing. Draw a bunch of cards. Hey, untapped white. when we don't really need it, we're gonna put this on black and play out the tome. Pass the turn. Okay. So I think the opponent's being really aggressive. Yeah, see, they sacrificed their own Doom Foretold because I have a Blessing on the field. So we are going to need to find a way to get rid of that, or a way to blink it to really just make our opponent feel bad. But yeah, now we have to be careful. And paying 3 life for the untapped white Nemiria's Call is going to feel pretty bad. Alright, they go for another Wicked Wolf. I mean, I can Doomscar them. They don't have any food. In before untapped green source, play Goose? Nah. Alright, so do we take a Scry here? Sure. Nope, I'm not going to Scry my upkeep, but I'll Scry now. The life might end up mattering. Alright, there's a Dance. Okay. So we can be getting somewhere. I can Doomscar the board by paying 3 life, and that leaves me with how much mana? 3 mana? Sure. Alright. So we will Doomscar the board, blow up these wolves, and we'll buy Yorion, and try to blink this Blessing, I guess. And we can take another Scry with the Tome. But yeah, being screwed over a bit on white mana. We haven't found any of our half-white pathways. Alright, third Wicked Wolf, no target. Feels good. They're just 4 mana 3/3s. Alright, we'll take another Scry now. Nope. Another Dimir pathway is not it. Bark Channel, okay. That's pretty funny. So, do I just Skyclave Apparition? Draw a card and play tap land? I think I do. So, the reason this is so good is because if ever we can blink the Apparition after playing a Casket, and then we get to take another thing, another permanent that they own, and then we get to put the 4/4 under the Casket. So we'll just play tap land and draw off the Tome. So feeling good. Skyclave Apparition, what do you target? Might target my Apparition. Okay, so a little awkward, but it's fine. So that goes under, they get a 4/4. And they buy their Yorion. Okay. So I think they have a land based on the pause. Maybe a Triome, maybe just a DFC land. Alright, I'll take a draw. Okay, now our hand is looking a lot less good. Can Yorion blink everything? But we're gonna start by... I mean, this is gonna cost us some life. But we'll start with the Casket. Take out the 4/4. We're gonna be digging for a Doom Foretold, so we can get this Blessing off the board. Play Yorion. Now, okay. We're definitely resetting the Blessing and the Casket, but the question really is, do we want to reset the Tome, or do we just want to take our life boost? I think the opponent's far from killing us, so I think we just take more Scries right now, and we're going to play our other tap land. We're going to run out of forests to get back with Binding at this point, because we've hit way more forests than Bindings, but it is what it is. Get a 3/3, draw some cards, and hey, there's all the untapped land. Flooding a little bit. That might be a bit of an understatement too, but you know. Okay, Apparition. What does Apparition take? Apparition takes Casket. Alright, so we're just going to be looping ETB triggers off this thing. Alright, so I shouldn't have reset it if that was going to happen. Another Tome. Another Tome's a lot more cards and it's a lot more scries, so that's fine. Let's say I dance. I'm getting back an Omen and... I mean, I'm getting back 2 Omens. And it would be dance for 3. Is that even good? I don't think so. It creates blockers and gets me deeper into my deck. So maybe it's not horrible. How much mana is that? That's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I can do everything I want to do in this turn. So maybe we do just dance. Alright. Let's attack with the Yorion. Start to get a clock going. Because we have 2, we can just dance for 3 right now. Get some value out of our cards. Ouch. Make some blockers. We'll take a binding. That seems pretty good. We'll play out the Tome. Ouch. And yeah, hold open Omen of the Sea or Tome Draw. So I think we're super advantaged on cards, and the opponent just concedes. Yeah, I mean, we have a stupid amount of card advantage from that scenario. Just the ability to draw 4 off the Tome eventually, play the Omen, get deeper into the deck. We have a good board presence as well, and we're not going to miss a land drop for a while, let me tell you. Also, any important thing the opponent plays, we literally just blow up. Despite almost being out of forests in the deck, I think we're in a really good spot. Alright, well, this hand is really good. Look at that, this is the exact type of hand I was envisioning with the deck, where we start on tap Triome, we get green source pretty much for free, and then we just play out pathways as we normally would. And yeah, we have a really solid curve of kill your thing, play either Omen or Nightmare, and then get the Doom to tick. So, I mean, we'll put out the blue source because we're going to need that on blue. It could have been better to just put this on blue because, I mean, black is more of a useful color. Invasion, okay. So we're sitting on absolutely nothing right now. And just chilling. We're just pure chilling. That would have been really good last turn. So, okay. Do I get the Nightmare ticking? Or do I look for a target? They're giants, so I don't think they're going to have many things with less power than 2. So we'll put this on white because we need double white. And play out the Nightmare. Okay, they can reveal a giant to shock my face. Bone Crusher, nice. No surprise there. Hilariously, the most playable of the giants.
I enjoy the proper application of knowledge.
Okay, Scions comes down. Not bad. We have plenty of answers in the deck. I mean, we could just eliminate it. Quakebringer, Battles of Frost and Fire, or just lands. Do I care about the board wipe? I don't think I really do. So they can wipe the board, and then I'm more worried about the 3rd chapter. I think this is the most threatening thing purely based on that. Now, okay, I kind of want my Nightmare to go off and exile this Glimpse. So I'm tempted to just play this on blue. Eliminate the Scions right now. Which, yeah, fun fact, this kills Planeswalkers. A lot of people don't remember that. And just play the Omen. So they're gonna get a cheap giant, but so it's gonna cost 2 less to cast, right? They can play the Quakebringer, and then we Heartless Act it, and then it's gone, like completely exiled. And they're gonna do it. Perfect. I can actually play the... Oh, they're gonna Glimpse. All right. Well, that bodes well for them because they got the value off the Glimpse, but at least we get the Quakebringer exiled. So we're gonna need to put a stop on our upkeep to be able to do that because I wanted to get into the yard before this goes off. Ooh, these aren't bad. I think we take both. Yeah, I think both are good. All right, we untap. Destroy the Quakebringer. And then Nightmare will tick up. Or, I mean, we're going to draw, then Nightmare will tick up. Exiling our opponent's yard. We get 1 Quakebringer down. Play out second black and white source. And the Maze Mind Tome. Alright, we're looking pretty good. We have Doom to follow up any permanent they play. Like another Quakebringer, for example. The fact that this is literally just a 5-mana do-nothing sort of takes away from its playability. We can't gain life if it's on the board. Also, we could have scryed for a land to go like Doom into draw this turn, but I think literally just slamming Doom is fine. We're gonna get burnt for 2, and then Omen can like sort of chump it. So we can go Omen, I can go double Omen and then play Doom. I don't hate it. Even though we miss out on 2 life, I think it's fine. So we're gonna pass here. We can still find like ECD, binding, like we have plenty of answers for just 1 threat. And the opponent can sort of play around Doom Foretold by not committing more permanents to the board. Oh, and we tap completely wrong. I should have been more careful. Auto Tapper is gonna prioritize having Triomes open. I next time have to make sure that doesn't happen so we can hold up blue mana for the Omen, but it's not the end of the world. We can still draw off the Tome. If not, that would have been proper bad. So note to self, be weary of Auto Tapper. They're gonna stop my 1/1, sure. We'll put a stop on upkeep in case you don't hit land and want to take a scry. Alright, and smashing tapped or not? Okay, we'll take the draw. And there's land, so I don't think we activate the Tome. We can use an extinction event for odd. Okay, sounds good. Pass 2 main. Yep. Odd. And honestly, opponent can probably just concede here. We have way too much card advantage, and this game is going to go rather long. Glimpse. Okay, opponent maybe not be completely out of it, but I just feel like I am really in the driver's seat. We live for control moments like this. All right, see, they play 1 threat, and while it is a powerful card, it just gets eaten by the Doom. No scry because I want to maximize cards. So, how greedy am I? Do I Blessing? I think we just play it super safe and Doom, because if we Blessing, hit a land, and then Doom, like, we're actually laughing. But we could just Doom here. Yep, and they don't get the free pip off the Cosmos. So what's it gonna be? Alright. Land pass. So Omen or Tome? I think we just Omen. I want to get my hand not too empty because we can really just draw way too many cards. I don't see how a binding is bad. Any permanent they play just dies. And no scry off the Tome. We'll put this Omen in the yard. Dance. Oh boy. We can buy Yorion and pass. We don't really need to do anything else. I can draw off the Tome and it's completely fine. Opponent's gonna discard something and give us a knight. Could have played Treacherous Blessing. I don't think it's worth it. I think we have plenty of card advantage, and if there's any way the opponent gets back into it, it's because I kill myself with my own blessing. Dude, just discard the smashing. It's just the land. Yeah. They can use it to kill my Yorion, but like, that's not exactly what I'm fussed about. Invasion. I'm gonna binding that. I'm going to bind their invasion. Pitiless. And the Scions. Oh, we might just binding that because that's better. So if they draw discard and kept on top, then it might be something that is relevant to being in the yard. Yeah, respect. Just, they could also submit 0 technically, but whatever, it's pretty jokes that they buff up the knight. Alright, so how do we want to do this? I think we can let them have chapter 2. Like, it's fine, really. So do we binding these Scions, or do we ECD the Scions? Nothing in yard, I just think we bind them. Look at that green splash coming in so clutch. And we'll play this on white. Attack with the knight. Now we can play the blessing, or we can just draw. Again, I think playing the blessing is super greedy, and I think we're fine just where we are. So they get an extra draw, which, I mean, as you know, we can definitely keep up with when they keep a Bone Crusher Giant. Let's go. Stomp my 2/2. You do gotta respect the Isn't Giant players. Like, I like the idea of them having Royal Scions to get stuff like Glimpse in the yard and Quakebringer in the yard. I think it's a cool idea. So they Glimpse here. Am I gonna let them have their discount? They have plenty of mana. It's sort of whatever. We get to ramp. We'll get a White Source, the black White Source. Now, if I play Yorion, we blink literally everything. Blow up another permanent. Or I can play Double Doom and go for a crazy dance next turn. How much mana do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, and this would be 4. Alright. So, Double Doom into stupid dance. Yep. I dig it. An opponent has to sacrifice both of their permanents. Alright. Man, this is just the life. Playing Control and you have all the answers, it's just the biggest feel good ever. Alright, so what do I want to recur with the dance? So I'm thinking, do I even dance here, or do I blink with Yorion for even more value? I can sacrifice this, this. Dance, get a bunch of stuff, but I think we just sack the binding and the Omen for more cards. It's close between that and the Tome. So we're going to dance for 5, 6. Auto pay. Let's see if the opponent runs counter magic. They do not. Have I hit my land this turn? I don't think so, so we'll take it. Draw off the Tome, gain some more life, put them even further from killing me. Yeah, black. And yeah, not looking too bad, guys. Opponent has to discard their entire hand. Oh, this game was so stupid. Doom against the slower deck like this is just disgusting. Oh, they foretold something quickly. That's respect. All right, Tectonic Giant down. Battle of Frost and Fire. Oh, that would have saved them from this massive board. And we still have Eliminate and Tome Draw open. So, yeah, I was going to say Battle of Frost and Fire keeps them alive, but, like, look at this hand, guys. Like, they're not winning this game. Alright guys, and we are back. So this deck was a hell of a lot of fun. I absolutely love Esper Doom, and the splash for the binding, I think that depending on the metagame, can come in super clutch. If there's a lot of problem permanence, and the decks aren't just hyper aggressive, then the binding is exactly where we want to be. And Doom kind of thrives in that meta anyways, so having a relatively free splash into green is a pretty big deal. Mana was a little weird today. You really have to get used to sequencing. Like, sequencing does matter. While these cards a lot of the time will be part of the Esper colors, some of the time they will be green sources. Although if ever you have a Triumph, these are like pretty much exclusively blue and black lands. Mana can also be awkward regarding double white, which leads me to wanting to play less Doomscar and more Extinction Event. It can be fine because we still are trying to push towards double white by turn 3 anyways because of the apparition, but if you can't get there, then just sub these out and put in 2 more events. Or you can skew your mana base a little bit more towards white, like maybe drop off the Bark Channel pathway or the Darkboard pathway, like trim one of these down and maybe include a couple more planes and like maybe find space for Birth Meletes. I don't know, there's a lot of ways to play around with it. So that's it for me, everybody. Again, deck list will be in the description down below, and I will catch you in the next one. Peace out.